Tested. Hey guys, it's Will from Tested.
I'm Norm from Tested.
iPhone apps of the week.
We have 5 of them. 4 of them are okay. We're going to present them.
One's awesome.
I'm going to present that
Super
one.
duper fantastic.
Get right into it.
Mr. Bill. You may remember Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live in the 80s, which makes it too old even for me.
I don't remember it.
Okay, so the idea is Mr. Bill is a Play-Doh figurine.
Oh, okay.
And he is tortured.
Kind of like a Jack in a Box, but before Jack in a Box.
Yes, so this is, it's not a particularly good game, but it's kind of fun. Basically, it's one of those games, one of those flash games where you have to flap along and try to get like the biggest distance.
Arms are waving.
Yeah, look, you grab balloons and stuff. You can flap. I think you can tap over there and do something.
Pretty aerodynamic.
I don't think this is really the way flapping works, but I mean, I'll take it. And sometimes bad things happen to Mr. Bill. Oh, he's just going to flatten out there. If this were free, I would think it was pretty awesome. I think it was like 99 cents or $2, which is a little bit too much, I think, for what is essentially a glorified flash game.
How many levels are there?
I haven't gotten to the end yet. I've played it for probably an hour.
Is there a bunch of variety, or does it all look like this?
You know, there's a fair amount of variety. They add new characters that can fling you or kill you, like the spike onto which your Play-Doh self can get.
But it's not like there are snow levels and forest
I have yet to see a snow level. And look, I mean, I guess we can tell how many levels there are. They keep
all
going.
Look the same.
But yeah, it seems like it's all variants on some sort of evil circus. I think the idea, there's a story, it played a cute clip at the beginning with Mr. Bill. If you haven't watched Saturday Night Live since 1984 and we're dying to know what happened to the Bill family, well, this will tell you. The next game is Bit Trip Beat. It's been out for a while. I think it's published by Namco or someone. It has cool sound and it is a trippy kind of game. There's a bunch of different levels, some user-created ones, I think. There's 3 or 4 basic ones. And the basic idea of this game is that the beats are flying at you from the right side to the left side, and you have to bounce them back in order to make noise. This guy also shows up in Super Meat Boy.
That's synergy.
Synergy. So you tilt the thing back and forth. So you got a paddle over here on the left side by my thumb, and you have to bounce, and there's music. And it gets really, really hard really fast. A couple things I really like about this game. Well, I'll tell you one in a sec, but the sound's actually really good. Oh, I'm failing badly here.
It's like Music plus Breakout.
It is kind of like Music plus Breakout. It reminds me of a Miz game, which I like Miz. He's the dude who made Lumines and Medios and all that. You get big crazy multipliers if you do really well. And when you're about to die, you go into like this old school super 8-bit mode. And if you empty the top bar before the bottom bar empties, then you go back into the main game. So it's pretty forgiving. It kind of reminds me of Prey, had a similar mechanic on the PC. See, back into the regular game now. There's all sorts of crazy power-ups. Some of the power-ups are positive, some are negative. So you can actually get a power-up that makes your bar bigger. You can make a power-up that makes your ball smaller, too. Bar. There's power-ups that do many different things. And the patterns are cool. Eventually you kind of figure it out, like this one's a little weird. Oh, I'm in the danger zone now. Goose and Maverick are coming. And back into 8-bit mode. It's much easier when you're not holding it in a specific angle for the camera.
You can only use tilt controls for this?
I think it's only tilt controls. I didn't see another way to control this. But I really enjoyed it. I find this to be kind of transfixing when you're sitting on the couch or on the bus or something playing an iPhone game. And there's a whole bunch of levels. There's remix levels that I think users have created or DJs or something. And you can see achievements and high scores. So it works with Game Center, which is kind of the cool new thing. I'm going to load up a game. I was playing a game moments ago. Normally I don't like kind of board game adaptations, especially traditional classic board games. This one's actually okay. It's not great. It doesn't have, the cardinal error on these is usually that they're really slow, right?
Everything's so small. Oh, it's a 3D board.
It's a 3D board.
That's crazy.
I don't understand why there's not just a traditional 2D board. I feel like this game doesn't benefit really from 3D at all.
You can't pinch to zoom. I mean, if it's a 2D board, you could pinch and
well, you can tap and zoom. So you can see.
So it's fixed cameras.
It's fixed cameras, but you can zoom in, look at like your properties here. Look, see, I have mortgaged Connecticut, but I just bought that to block yellow, so that's fair. He's got a bunch of, it's basically Monopoly. It's the same game. This is the least.
Can I win $1 million?
You can win $1 million virtual dollars.
I want Park Place and Boardwalk.
Look at that. Do you notice that the iron is ironing the board as it goes around?
Very clever.
Yeah, it's not perfect. It wasn't too expensive. I feel like this is probably okay as this type of game goes. Oh man, my $200 went straight to the race car. I fucking hate the race car, man. So the next app is called PodFisher. As you can imagine, this is an app that fishes for pods. Casts. It doesn't work exactly the way I'd expect, but it's okay. Basically, what this does is looks at the podcasts that are both in the store and on the music share, on the phone that you put on with iTunes, as well as the ones that are available on the iTunes Music Store.
Okay.
And you have a bunch of options. So, like if you've downloaded it, you can just hit play an iPod and it'll start it up. Yada yada.
Yep.
I don't know why it's showing me this again. But it plays in the background. You can use the normal pod controls, iPod controls, whatever. It's great. I mean, that's awesome. The trick comes when you don't have the podcast on the device. One, you can go download it via iTunes. It'll take you to the store page for that podcast in iTunes, not in the PodFisher app anymore.
Yep.
And you can choose to download it there.
And if you're on Wi-Fi, you can download a podcast of any size. If you're on 3G, you're still limited to 20 megs.
No, there's a trick.
Oh, I like this.
If you're on 3G, you can stream the episode. I'll go back. Behold, just tap the episode. And it goes straight here. I listened to the podcast this morning on the way in, despite the fact that I hadn't downloaded it and it was 65 megs.
That's an iPhone 4.
It'll stream the whole episode. And then the last thing that it does, of course, is notifies you when there are new episodes. So you can go back, you can scroll through the whole run of whatever podcast you like. You can just play the new episodes here, and it'll, it's pretty good. It's, I'd rather have something that checks automatically. That don't have to manually start once or twice a week. But this beats plugging into sync with iTunes.
All right, this is my current favorite iPhone game.
Oh my God, Game Dev Story! I told you this was awesome like 2 weeks ago. It's a great game.
This is amazing. It is a simulation of a game development studio.
I have it on good authority that this is exactly what it's like to run your own game development studio.
My game studio is called Bested. Let's load up Bested right now.
Why Bested?
Because it rhymes with tested.
Oh,
I'm in year 18 of my game studio. You have 20 years to make a very profitable game studio, and it goes through the very first generation of video games all the way to the last generation.
Well, clever spins.
For
They're
example,
not actually licensing the names of the. They had the Nintendo, I believe, Super.
You start off with PC.
Amifcon?
Yep, early PC gaming.
Yeah.
Then you get there was a Commodore 64. There's an NES called the IES. There's a Sega Saturn.
No, that was a Uranus.
That's a Uranus.
Uranus.
Palladion, PlayStation. The Game Box. Play Status 2.
These all seem like they're just barely changed enough to not
the
be liable.
Microx 480.
Was that a PSP? No, that was a mini station. Status.
Mini Status. And
mistake.
the Nintendo DM. So basically, you can license technologies. So I can pay $12,000.
Make a game. Let's start with a game.
Okay, I'm gonna make a Play Status 2 game.
Okay.
Because that is very popular.
Look at how many, 19% market share. That's pretty huge.
Pick the genre.
Okay.
So there's a ton of genres. You have to unlock them by training your people you hire. You have to actually hire people.
Okay. What's a table game?
Like a tabletop game. So there are combinations.
Okay.
For example, RPG. I've made many RPGs.
Okay.
And it's very popular, but it costs that much to make.
You're only level 1.
No, I'm level 5 RPG.
Wow, level 5.
And RPG, I want to pick it with a match with the genre. So
I want to make Fallout 3.
To make an RPG with ninjas, I could do that, but that's not going to be a great combo. You want like a fantasy RPG, or maybe a historical RPG.
This is everything that's wrong with the game industry today. Make a romance RPG.
But you know what? That game won't sell. It won't sell.
Do it.
Checkers RPG?
What the fuck is a poncho RPG?
I have no idea, but it's not very popular.
I think that's racist.
I'm gonna make a wrestling RPG.
I like wrestling.
And then I can decide the budget. I want a very high budget. Spend big.
Yeah, ease that burden on that staff.
All right.
This is no game developer is ever going to go with budget.
And then you can set the parameters for the game. I want this game to be not be innovative at all, but incredly cute.
I like
it's
where you're going with this.
It's a cute wrestling RPG.
Should you take out the Polish?
The polish.
Oh, well, that's confusing.
I don't care about the game world. I care about realism. A cute, realistic.
So what,
approachable
this
wrestling
is on
RPG.
The Katamari Madden scale,
yes.
basically.
And there we go. So you have once the game started, you have a whole staff.
I want Jeff to write the proposal.
And I have hired people, and they have stats. They're programmers.
Hey, your guys have the same name as mine.
These are the basic coders, but you can get all the way to hackers. They're very expensive, but they have very high stats. Some of them are just scammers. You can't name them.
He was the new guy. I'm a gamer.
Or you can outsource. You can hire someone
exclusively
who is very good at writing scenarios, but he's very expensive. I'm going to hire him.
He created many global hits.
he has a great idea for a wrestling game. He's going to go, and there you go. So he takes time to add attributes to your game.
And these are like your skill points for
fun,
the game.
Creativity, graphics, and sound. And over time, over the development process from 0 to 100%, you can spend resources and use research points up here in this corner to boost these attributes. So
basically, this is a game dev RPG, not a game dev story.
It's a simulation. It's a sim.
Where's the story, Norm?
It's a sim. There's no story. It's cute.
Oh, you picked an odd combination.
This is an odd combination.
Oh, shit.
My staff, they're not excited about it.
You could invent a new genre right here, or you could make, well, something terrible. Look, your guys are on fire!
They're coding so quickly and doing research.
Holy shit.
It's all the hackers. So I have actions. I can use items to increase the fun artificially.
And you have to spend money to buy these items, right?
Spend money or research
that
points.
Didn't look like Red Bull. I think it was Red Monkey or something.
I can check my products. So these are the games I've made so far, and they've sold very well.
Die-Bot Die?
Die-Bot Die 2 has sold 6 million units. I have Wings of Hope 2, Fur Cards, Playdate, and Wings of Hope. These are my
9,700,000 is not shabby.
2, Paramount, it's a movie studio
Valve
simulation.
2, that's pretty.
That was a
pipe dream
so
game,
you can make in this game, you can make a game company simulation. And I made a game company simulation called Valve and maximized the polish, and also made a sequel to it called Valve 2.
Wow.
So yeah, you can make sequels. You can eventually design your own console, right?
Yes, if you have a hardware, a technical. You know what? I'm gonna abandon this game.
Look at all the fun they're having.
Don't save. I can actually make sequels. I can make consoles.
You already have a project in progress.
And you can only take one project at a time, which makes sense.
Oh my god.
But there are interesting things, like there's conventions that you can send people to.
Yes, there's awards.
There's an annual award ceremony, much like the GDC.
You can get magazine write-ups and there was a court case against one of my games once, I think.
So once you've made a game, you can actually advertise. I can buy magazine ads. Which
they're cheap.
They're only $30,000.
Why are magazine ads the cheapest kind of ad?
But you know what? It didn't increase their popularity at all.
So they're cheap and ineffective? Holy shit, dude.
And buy Lunar Writing. So that will increase. Oh my god, I'm getting so many fans, male and female fans of all ages.
Hold on, do you think that if you actually etched the name of your game on the surface of the moon, people would be happy about that or pissed off?
Very happy.
I don't think that's accurate.
And then I can look at my staff. Coders, writers. It is pretty in-depth. They have energy that goes down. So you have to you have to micromanage them.
But you can burn them
intensely. You can burn them out. The only thing that I don't like so much is that the game genres are pretty predictable. So the combination, if you make a RPG, fantasy RPG. Oh, here goes an award ceremony.
No, it's a new console.
Oh, new console announcement.
I bet this is going to be the it's the Whoops.
The Whoops.
The Whoops. Look, it looks like it has a Wiimote and is shaped like a Wii.
I'm gonna go license this and make a motion game, a motion fitness game right now.
12 million units. Wow.
Anyway, that is game dev story. There is not much of a tutorial. You have to read the manual that's built into the game and try it a bunch of times.
And it explains like how you raise fun and the different kind of points and stuff like that, and how you make money. It's a pretty in-depth game for the iPhone. I was really surprised. I quite like it.
Hella fun.
Yes. The bad thing about it is there's no good stopping point. So you will literally sit down to play it for like 10 minutes, look up 3 days later, you have a beard, the dog is dead, your wife has left you, and the fridge has nothing but mustard left.
We gotta wrap this up. I gotta go play games.
I'm playing games. I'm making like new game studios. One's called Ego. They make shooters.
Mine's called Sunny Studios.
Okay. Mine's called Hurricane. They make Planet of Warmake.
I have a Tornado Studio.
Yeah.
And Super Ego.
Limited Ward.
Somewhat more limited Ward.